Hello everybody and welcome to the first video of Top 5 Records. On this YouTube channel I'm gonna make videos related to music and records, and they're all top 5 lists, just like in the film High Fidelity. And I'm gonna start this off with one of the hardest lists to come up with one of my favorite artists, perhaps my favorite artist. Today is gonna be about David Bowie. And the top 5 of his work is very difficult because he has been constantly changing and constantly reinventing himself. So the first 5 things I came up with are hopefully the best, but I love 90% of his work. Let's start. On the number 5, Hunky Dory. Hunky Dory might even be regarded as his first glam rock album, but you can also still feel that he comes from a singer-songwriter, perhaps even a little bit of folk culture. And this record is just brilliant. It kicks off with changes, and I've never noticed how beautiful changes sound until I heard this first British pressing. It's so dynamic, it's so well sung. It then goes on with Oh You Pretty Things, a beautiful song. It has Life on Mars, by far one of the best ballads ever written. Cook's Quicksand often overlooked, but one of Bowie's best songs, not released on a single. And that was only side 1. I mean, it ends off with the Bowie brothers. This record, if you're gonna start a David Bowie collection, you must start with Hunky Dory, and afterwards fall in love with all the other records. On number 4 in the list, this used to be my number 1 David Bowie album when I was 17, 18 years old. It's Low, with a sleeve picture from The Man Who Fell to Earth. It's a film in which David Bowie played, from Nicholas Rook. It's also a very good film. Go watch The Man Who Fell to Earth. This was very interesting because I believe this was the first record which I heard which was mostly instrumental. At least one of the sides is completely instrumental. But it also contains hits. I mean, the first time you hear Sound and Vision on vinyl, it is such a bright, full, almost orchestral song. You know, it's very gripping, but that's not the only song on there, which is very, very good. The overall atmosphere, this is the atmospheric album, the overall atmosphere is brilliant. You're not gonna find this anywhere else. Bowie was inspired by bands like Annoy and Tangerine and other krautrock rock bands, and I love those bands, I love those albums. And some people say he ripped them off. He didn't rip them off, he reinvented the krautrock rock genre to get things like Low. But it also has hit singles, you know, Always Crashing in the Same Car. Not a hit single, but amongst Bowie fans, a favorite. Breaking Glass, What in the World, Be My Wife. And Warsaw later on used in the film Christiane F. to tremendous effect. I mean, the dark, haunting atmospheres on Warsaw. Oh man, you gotta love this album. It's... The number 3, and we're already getting in territory which is... I mean, all the records are in incredible territory. Number 3, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. It's an easy pick, this one. A lot of people would perhaps even have chosen this to be on number 1. Yeah, of course this could be on number 1 with songs like 5 Years, So Love. It has such a beautiful groove, So Love. Moonage Daydream. The first time I heard Moonage Daydream, it starts off with this wonderful guitar riff. Yeah, let's call it a riff. And Bowie shouting, I'm an alligator. Starman, beautiful song. It Ain't Easy. Lady Stardust, Hang On To Yourself, Ziggy Stardust. And one of my all-time favorite ballads, Rock and Roll Suicide. And it sounds great on this record, Rock and Roll Suicide. But when you listen to the Hammersmith Odeon version, I believe that was recorded a year after this release, and it was a goodbye show by Bowie. Oh man, it's tragic, but it's also very beautiful. This record contains solely beautiful songs. I really, really love it, and I cannot imagine you haven't heard it. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it on Spotify. But even better, buy it on a record, because the difference in sound qualities is gigantuous. I had a Dutch pressing, a 70s pressing, and a friend of mine came over and we compared it to this one. This is the first British pressing, and there's just reverb missing. There is echo missing. There are tones missing on reprints. This sounds awesome, very awesome on a British pressing. All right, the number 2 of best Bowie albums, Station to Station. This is haunting. This is haunting. The first song, Station to Station, I believe it's 7 minutes long. It's the I'm pronouncing it wrong. The ambiguity, bad English. The ambiguity of the atmosphere and of the lyrics. The return of the thin white duke throwing darts in lovers' eyes. Which was also written with his cut-up technique. Moon's Daydream was written with this cut-up technique Bowie used. He used to cut out sentences from old diaries and then put them together in an order, just like William Burroughs did on, I believe, some poems. And he used it on only 2 or 3 songs, but Station to Station is one of those songs. It's a haunting song. It starts off with a guitar mimicking a train coming over, and it is an incredible song. You just don't know what's happening. And after the Golden Years, which is this beautiful soul song, Word on a Wing, a wonderful, most delightful ballad, TVC 15. It's funky. It's great. Stay, great riff. Stay is a great riff. And Wild is the Wind, a cover of a song first recorded by Nina Simone. I believe at least Nina Simone made it popular. She didn't write it, and I love Nina Simone. But I think I even prefer David Bowie's version of this. This record was made in a period in which David Bowie was not sure where he was going. He was constantly trying to reinvent himself, but he was a junkie for cocaine and drinking loads of milk. He used to live on milk, cocaine, and peppers. I believe chili peppers, even red peppers. So he was skinny. He was out of his mind. He can't remember recording this album. Nevertheless, Bowie searching for where he's going on Station to Station is one of the most interesting things you can ever hear of him. Now, the number 1 David Bowie record. I don't think everyone is going to agree. And the first time I heard it, I thought I might be overwhelmed by the moment. But the moment was, in the light of the actual moment, different, because when this album got released, we heard 2 songs of it, and they were brilliant, but there were also loads of sounds and opinions going around from people saying, and insiders saying, Bowie's lost his mind. He's doing these strange jazz improvisations, which we have never ever heard him do. This is going to be his most bizarre record, so I thought, most likely not my thing. I didn't listen to jazz at the time. And it was 2-3 days before he died. He released this on his birthday. And I immediately ran to the stores and I bought Blackstar. And when I put this beauty on, I was stunned. I did not know what was happening. It is such an intense sound, and I thought when I listened to it, Bowie has reinvented himself. We don't know what's coming for the future. 3 days later, everybody saw this record as his goodbye, and it has loads of elements of goodbye. I mean, the song Blackstar itself, but also Lazarus. It's obvious, and also the line "Where the fuck did Monday go?" He died on a Sunday, so everybody thought he knew what was coming. Most likely he didn't know. When I heard this the first time, I thought Bowie's going completely new places, and well, he did go, but not the place I suspected. This record is mesmerizing. I can really only tell everybody, go buy it, listen to this. It will change your life. So those were my 5 best David Bowie records. I'm very curious what you guys think. Leave a comment below if you agree or disagree. Let's start a discussion, and I'll be back with more top 5 lists. See ya!